Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. If you are here, if you have found this podcast, that means that you are also a light worker. When I talk about you being a being of light, an infinite being of light, and we're referring to your soul, your consciousness, your being, not just your body and who you are here incarnated on this earth. With that, whatever resonates, take with you, and whatever doesn't, just let it be. This podcast is intended to expand your awareness, to allow you to remember things that you already have within, things that you are awakening to. And when things resonate with you, then that's when it activates. So, with that, just wanted to say thank you for being here. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. I love you. Thank you for sharing this and helping other people reach out and get the messages from here. Today's message is coming from Archangel Gabriel, and it's talking about the matrix, how we are detaching from the matrix, how we are ascending from the 3D to the 5D. And some of the things that you may be feeling into or experiencing lately is this disassociation from your normal or your usual group of friends and or people, and the ones that you are making now and the ones that you're feeling more aligned with, the ones that you want to hang out more with, all of a sudden, when before you might have thought of them as not my type of people or not my thing, and now they're resonating with you. This is a clear sign that you are becoming more aware of what's available for you. It is also a clear sign when you're feeling less likely to want to continue hanging out or doing things with your old crew who is perhaps at a different level of ascension than you, because you're no longer resonating. And so the message that came through, and I received this last night, so I'm recording early this morning. Um, the message that came through is you're living in the matrix. We are in the matrix. And what that is like a video game. I've made other videos about this before. So you, the consciousness, is creating the you, human, physical person that you see in the mirror, right? The person who's living everyday life, doing the things, going to work, right? All those things. So that is your avatar in the video game. The you is the consciousness, not here on this planet right now, only a sliver of your fullness of who you are, that infinite being of you, is incarnated in your human body so that you can experience opposites, so that you can experience everything that you can experience in a human body. So here's the thing. As you're becoming more and more aware of who you are, and you're remembering who you are, you're beginning to raise your frequency to one that is in more harmony and love and joy with not just you, but everyone around you. And so you may be feeling less likely to listen to the news or watch social media that has any type of negative innuendo or agenda. You may feel more triggered or disassociated with comments that are more in the negative instead of the uplifting ones, right? So the negatives are the ones that are criticizing. These are like your inner self, your inner child, the greatest critic of our own selves is us, right? You look in the mirror and you find all the things that you may not like about yourself. Whereas other people around you in your circle may see you and not see those things that we criticize about ourselves, right? So we are our greatest critic. And when we are really in tune to that, to our own criticism, we are also in tune to everyone else's criticisms about other people and other things, right? And so when you see something, let's say on social media, that is going down that path of negativity, of putting somebody down, of sending the message of hate or separation, where we might have been really into before, like really like wanting to make a comment about that. Now we're beginning to feel like, I don't want to comment anymore. And then as you continue with that, you're going to start feeling more like, I don't even want to read this anymore. Or I don't want to put energy there anymore. Or eventually you'll get to like, I'm not even looking at that anymore. Now I'm shifting myself to putting and giving my attention to things that are uplifting to me, right? So things that when you read them, make you laugh. And I'm not talking about making you laugh at the expense of others, but making you laugh at the, so that's just funny, right? That is just brings you joy, or it brings you that feeling of, oh, right? Like animals. There's so many things and videos about animals that people are just talking to and watching more of that because it just uplifts everyone. It is not at the expense of anyone's misfortune that we are laughing and enjoying that. So the more that you begin to separate from the 3D, which is the density, which is the heaviness, which is the judgment and the criticism that we have carried within us and we have used against ourselves, that image in the mirror, and then everyone else, we are beginning to now disassociate from that line of thinking and energy. And as you continue to become more and more aware of that, of your new likes, of the things that are uplifting you more, that you're wanting to lean more into, then you begin to see your own reflection in the mirror, and you begin to see less and less critical things that you used to judge on yourself, and now you're loving them, or they're not bothering you, right? So that is a clear shift in energy that a lot of people are going through right now. So they're becoming more aware of what's happening. They are not wanting to engage in negativity or adding fire to any type of criticism of anyone else, not even have to do with you, and then of yourself as well. And what happens is that when we begin to do that, we have to replace that energy with something else. And so we are replacing our own energy by focusing on things that bring us more awareness, that bring us more happiness, more light, more love and joy. And that is more love and joy that you are spreading onto others and also to yourself. So one of the things that's showing up that came through in the message from Archangel Gabriel last night was that the more that we speak words of wisdom from a place of love, right? Because the ego gets in the way a lot of times when we are first becoming aware, when we're first going through the awakening. So I'm feeling like, oh, I have words of wisdom about blah, 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 and I'm going to say them. And we don't pay attention that while we're giving these words of wisdom, we may be hurting someone by criticizing them, even if we're not meaning to, just because that has been the script. That has been the way that we have been functioning throughout. So it just comes out, right? So what came through is like, do it from a place of heart. So every word that you speak comes up from a place that uplifts others. You can give the same exact message, your same wisdom that you are tuning into yourself and like gathering this wisdom that you want to share with people as a comment or as whatever it is that you want. But when you shift from speaking from your heart, then it uplifts everyone. And even those who are not ready to hear the, I'm going to put quote unquote criticism that may come in form of a wisdom, are not going to feel it as criticism because you're speaking from a place of your heart. Okay. So we are detaching from this matrix. We are detaching from the all 3D heaviness of the world. And we're moving into the 5D, which is when we really become aware that we are all one, that we're all together. And when we hurt others, we're really hurting ourselves. Why? Because they are just a reflection of us. Saying that again, everyone else in our space, in our reality, is a reflection of us. Playing out a different life, a different character that we want to experience, but maybe we don't want to experience it as being in that place, but we're experiencing it by watching, observing, and being close to someone who's going through that path in life, right? So they're all little reflections of us, of things that our soul wants and wanted to experience in this lifetime. And they're being presented to us so that we become aware of what they're going through, their thoughts, their ideas, their struggles, their joy, all of the things. But we're not doing it ourselves in our body, in our life, but we're going through and learning from it by watching them, by having these people in our lives. So these people might be your friends, your family, your coworkers, right? Or people that just bring you attention that you may not even know, but the story is there. So just like a celebrity that you've never met, but you're following their story for some reason because there's something about their story that you are living through by watching them. Does that make sense? Okay. So um, when we are feeling more disconnected from our regular group of people or the normal group of people that we used to hang out with, and we start to feel less and less enchanted by their charm or less and less wanting to go out with them, hang out with them, all of those things, it's because this is the big message that came through. It's because we are no longer wanting to play their game. Okay. So we are playing our own game, right? I explained this to you at the beginning. You are the avatar of your own creation, consciousness, and you are living your life through the creation of your higher self. Your consciousness is creating your avatar to do the things that you're doing every day. Every single one around you is also doing that on their own. And if they're in your life, in your presence, in your awareness, they are also serving you to experience their life or parts of their lives through your observation. Obviously, it's not going to be the same thing as being in their shoes, in their body, because you're not in them, right? But you're living through and experiencing things through their life, what their experiences. And when we feel like I don't really want to hang out with them anymore, or I don't feel like going there anymore, or I don't feel like doing those things anymore that I used to like and love and do, it's because as you are becoming more and more aware, you are raising your own frequency. And as we raise our frequencies, we become lighter bodies. And that is not just lighter body in your human body, but lighter body in your energetic body. And what that means is that we are shedding the heaviness, we are shedding the density, we are shedding the lower frequency energies that are attached to judgment, jealousy, and negative comments and thoughts and ideas and actions. So if you were involved in that space before and you enjoyed it, and now you are no longer enjoying it as much, or maybe not at all, depending on where you are in your journey, it's because you have decided no longer to play their game or in their game. So imagine you're in a gang and everybody's doing things together, right? And the whole thing's whatever it is that you do, your actions, your thoughts, your ideas, whatever, they're all pretty much the same. And at some point, you feel like, yeah, that's no longer doing it for me. I want to get out of this gang of people, right? And I'm just using the word gang as a group of people that do the same thing together, not the negative meaning that it has. And then you move away and then you watch them. And now you're in this place like, hey, I knew them. I used to be one of them. I used to do those things. I used to feel like them. I used to do things like them with them and enjoy them. And now I'm watching them because I no longer feel like engaging in that, but I still feel really attached to the people there because I was quite close with them. And I did so many things and I spent X amount of time with them. But now I just feel like I'm just watching them from afar. And as you begin to watch them, as your frequency continues to rise, you begin to become even more aware that, oh yeah, like I didn't really like that. And I don't really want to do that anymore. And then you begin to feel more and more separate from that group, that gang that you used to belong to. And now you begin to find things that light you up more, that bring you more joy, more peace, more love on your own. And this is the part where a lot of people feel really alone, right? When we awaken, when we become aware of things, it's a really lonely path because for the most part, everyone that we know around us is not doing it at the same time as us. And that's done on purpose because you are the one who's supposed to, quote unquote, through your example, through your own light, bring awareness to them. So this is why you're not going to awaken with your best friend at the same time, right? And this is why you're going to start to feel kind of lonely. And that's the part where we begin to doubt. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I detaching myself from my beautiful group of people that I used to have? I actually want to be there again. And you go back, you try to hang out, but you can't. You can't because now you're too aware of what that energy feels like and what you are feeling, which is higher frequency. So now you feel like you're in the middle, like, I don't know where to go. I feel lonely. There's no one around me who can understand me. There's no one that I can speak to or talk to about what I'm going through. My feelings, my perceptions, my ideas are so different than my whole group of people. And what do I do? It's a lonely road. This is when you begin to do more of the inner healing. You go down deeper on that rabbit hole and you begin to find like-minded people. You find your new tribe, a tribe of people who are awakening just like you, who are coming from their own little groups in different places. And then you find each other and then you find that space where you can speak about what you're going through and not feel afraid to share, as in the original group. So we're moving through because we're no longer wanting to play their game, right? We were part of their game, we're playing along the same thing. Now it doesn't feel like I want to do it. Okay, so now they're giving me another analogy. Let's say you're playing Monopoly and you love Monopoly and you're always winning, and all of a sudden you feel like this is boring, it's taking too long. What am I doing sitting here? I want to do something else, and you want to move on, even though you have played this board game for years with your family, with your friends, whomever it is, and you have always enjoyed it, and now it's just no longer fun for you. So you don't want to play their game now. Their game used to be your game. You were in that space, but now you're becoming more aware of other things. What else is there? What else can I do? What other games can I play? Or maybe I don't want to play a game like a board game. Maybe I want to play something that's more physical, like basketball, or like go running or hiking or do something else. Maybe you're being pulled to do more things outdoors in nature and not sit inside with a cardboard game. Maybe you want to do different things that you have never done before and you don't have the people around you to do them with. Or you might feel that there are no people around you that you already know who want to do this. So here is a part when you begin to express parts of the new you, of your new awareness, of your new higher frequency with those that you know. And then this is where you either can get shut down, like, oh, that's dumb, you don't want to do that, or like, who wants to do that, or make fun of, right? Or you can have somebody who's like not saying anything, and those people are the ones who are kind of like aligning with you, feeling kind of with you, but are too afraid to accept it or acknowledge it. And then there's some people who are going to be like, yeah, I'll try it. And then maybe try it with you and not like it. And then be like, then they go into like, that's dumb, or like, why do you want to do that? And then go back to the same, where it makes you feel alone again. But when you take that step of moving forward on what makes you happy, your heart sing, you laugh and have joy, not at the expense of others, but just because it brings you joy, something beautiful, then you begin to meet others that are like you, your new group. Does that make sense? So the message that was coming through, because I went off on a lot of explanation here, so I'm just going to like bring it back, is when you are feeling disconnected from people that you used to love, like, and hang out with and do things with, and now you're feeling a little bit more separate from them, it's because your soul, your awareness, you is no longer wanting to play their game. To put this into behavior explanation, let's say people are always in the negative, like finding the worst thing possible, the worst outlook, the worst the worst things that you can find in a situation, right? And you like doing that, and you like to solve with them and go down that path of like, oh yeah, life is hard, this is terrible, that happened, we're getting old, everybody's dying, everybody's getting sick, all of that stuff, or it's a conspiracy theory, whatever, right? It's like that, whatever it is been your thing that you have been feeding, now you're no longer feeding, and now you're feeling like, okay, I want to do something else. And that's when you begin to find the joy within. Because this is not coming from outside. This is coming from inside. It's your light within your own heart that's beginning to awaken, that's beginning to expand within your chest cavity, is beginning to shine light outside of just the inside of your heart. It's beginning to expand into your chest area, and you're beginning to glow. You're beginning to feel happier. You're beginning to engage in things that bring you joy just for you, not joy for others, but joy for you. So, like, not like I like baking cookies for my family all the time, and it takes me X amount of time, money, and effort to create this, but it brings me so much joy to see them eat this thing. Well, you have been doing all the work, and then you see them eat the stuff, right? And that brings you joy. That's one kind of joy. That's still very connected to the 3D because it's heavy. You have to do a lot of work in order to receive that satisfaction. Now, the new way of doing things for you that bring you your own joy is doing things that you want to do for yourself that bring you joy. So it's a little bit different because I know what you're thinking. You're like, wait, I like making the cookies for my family. So that does bring me joy. But do something for you. For example, it might be that you wanted to paint, right? Who are you painting for? Are you painting for someone? Are you doing it for, you know, to show off? Are you doing it because somebody's asking you for it? Or are you doing it just for the pure joy of seeing what you can do, right? Like, does it bring you joy to engage in something that you are creating? It could be crochet, it could be like sewing, it could be gardening, right? Now, gardening is very labor intensive, but you're connecting to Mother Earth. So things that you love to do for you. So let's say you are an avid gardener, but you never have the time to do it because you're always too busy taking care of everyone else. And now you're just going to do that. Just going to go and engage yourself, your time and space into doing that thing that you really love for you. It's bringing joy to others, kind of like on the sidelines because they get to see your beautiful garden, maybe, right? And or appreciate, or maybe not, because not everybody appreciates that type of stuff. This is why they're specifically showing me gardening. Um, but you're doing it for your own joy. And the more that you engage in doing the things that bring you more joy, what happens is that that light within your heart begins to expand brighter and further out. So instead of just being inside your heart now and then, or around in your chest area, now it's glowing outside. Maybe it's filling out your entire chest cavity. Maybe it's going out to make like a huge ball of light around your entire body. That's called being in the zone, by the way. So that's the light when you're like so into the thing that you love to do for you, that you kind of lose track of time, you lose your appetite, you're not even thinking about food, you're not thinking about anything else, you're just in that zone because the light within you, this is your remembrance, this is your own knowing, has expanded so big that kind of holds you in this bubble of light, which is your own light. It's coming from inside you, and it allows you and carries you to do the things that you want, right? So they want to be very clear in that that light that we're talking about, this divine light of being in the zone, is coming from you, from inside. It's not like coming from the sky somewhere or from the heavens and somebody puts this light on you. It's coming from you, from in here, from touching into your heart. Okay, so I hope that this has made sense for you. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it, if you need more clarity. I know I kind of repeated the message a couple of times. They kept giving it to me in different ways, in different forms with different words. It's just so that it can reach people in the way that they that you perceive it best. So this is why sometimes the message comes through in different words, different ways. And if you're perceiving everything you're saying, you just said that, it's the same thing. But that's why. It's because different words have different frequencies and they touch different souls, different people here on the planet on a different level so that they can understand it. So wanted to give you that. Thank you so much for being here. Please like if you like, share if you feel that this is bringing value to you and you like it, and so that other people can find it. And leave a comment, leave a nice comment, a good comment, a comment about clarity, anything you want, so that we can continue to make this space a safe place to grow, to expand, and to have our own light shining onto others. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.